Does it really take you that long to download?
Yes, it takes me that long to download and upload on episode 142 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, recorded on May 2nd, 2021. I don't know, fuck it. I thought, happy May Day. That was yesterday. Cinco de Mayo coming up. A lot of reasons to just celebrate, including the fact that on the podcast today, we have the least fungible man on the planet. He cannot be replicated. Andrew Clark. Yeah.
Can you replicate that, liberals?
Struggling to open a pop tab can.
It was frozen.
The beer that you're drinking right now is frozen?
Yeah, it's pretty slushy. I fucked up.
What? Why do you keep beer in the freezer?
To make it cold.
Like a fridge would do?
I didn't have any beer in the fridge, so I put some in the freezer for later and I completely forgot about it.
That strategy backfires more than it works.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like a 41% hit rate.
The risk does not outweigh the reward. And even when it melts, it's never fully back to 100%.
Yeah, it fucks up the flavor.
Yeah. I used to do it with Gatorade.
It's definitely flat when you do that, and then, yeah, the taste kind of fucks up. Although this beer slushie, not bad. I've had beer slushies before because, like I said, 41% hit rate. Yeah, this is a better one.
Also on the podcast today, we have a man with a 100% hit rate, but he chooses not to take shots because he knows he has nothing to prove. Ryan Holtz.
Please, just make me miss one time. I want to feel something again.
He is too good. There's nothing left. No more worlds to conquer.
It's like the opening of All Dogs Go to Heaven 2. The jingle of It's Too Heavenly Here. Everything's boring because when you roll the dice, everyone's a winner.
Oh.
And then they roll dice and they come up good. I don't know what they come up, actually. I'd have to rewatch that song.
God wants you to gamble.
Well, it's not really gambling because they know the outcome. It's going to be a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's my whole problem with that. Mm-hmm. When people say, oh, heaven would be boring, if heaven is truly perfect,
right,
and truly like there's no suffering or struggle at all, it wouldn't, because you could just say, no, recreate Earth for me. I'm bored. I want to re-experience life on Earth, like with its problems and shit. And then you could do that. Like that could be a simulation that you could run. Like they could have a Roy machine in heaven, like that, that you just do to say, oh, like to not have that happen to you anymore. Like I don't know. If it is perfect, then there's ways around that, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, heaven's like an EDM playlist. Like they give you the highs, but then they have to intersperse them with some of the like slower beats to like bring it back down, so that when the highs hit you again, it gets you going again.
Your hypothetical poses a new hypothetical for me. Do you think you're allowed to play God while you're in heaven?
You should be.
Right?
In my heaven, yes. In my heaven, yeah, you get your own universe, and you get to do whatever the fuck you want.
Ryan's heaven is Ryan being God.
Well, hold on. No, I
and
don't
then
like
making
it when you put
making it bad on purpose.
No, you get to do whatever you want. You don't have to make it bad on purpose. You can make it good on purpose. Or on accident.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe you just want to fall ass backwards into fucking creating an ideal universe and being like, hey, God.
Check out what I did on accident.
Look what I did. It wasn't hard. Why why are children getting cancer in your
Well,
universe?
What if we currently are living in someone else's heaven who is not good at what they're doing?
Oh boy.
They're not
That there
good.
is a different heaven and earth outside of what we're experiencing, and that is ran well and efficiently.
Yeah.
But we're
Well, it's-
in like Todd Jenkins heaven.
Exactly. It's the same concept of fucking what's it called? The like that we are likely in a computer simulation.
Yeah.
Because if there is a like universe in which an entire universe can be simulated, then it's done. Like then automatically we are in a simulation almost certainly, unless we're on the very outside layer. We are the first ones to start the simulation, which then has a simulation and a simulation, blah, blah, blah. That's that with heaven. Like, if in heaven you can be God and create your own universe, then we're not in the real world. We are in someone's heaven within someone's heaven within someone's heaven within someone's heaven. Like, because the odds are just almost impossible that we're on the outside.
Oh yeah.
You can be a different god after the pandemic.
Yeah, maybe. So, yeah, no, it turns out that we are using the same exact logic as the simulation thing. We are in someone else's universe who died in the real world and created their own universe, which sucks. And there's a bunch of fucking kids getting cancer and good people dying.
Yeah, no, God's just doing the rounds. You know, God's like the supervisor of all this shit. He's checking around. He's like, "Hey, Todd, how's your heaven going?" "Oh, you know, I'm really making it work, God. Oh, can I check?" "Todd, did you give kids cancer?"
Todd, yo, what the fuck?
"Todd,
I get.
Jesus."
Look, I tried.
They're not
Yeah,
real!
yeah.
They're not real! It's like, they're not real! Todd! You fucking
They're
asshole.
definitely real.
You're a literal psychopath, Todd. I don't know how you got in heaven in the first place.
Okay, to give me a little more time. I'm working on like a virus. I'm gonna tweak that, and that should get rid of all the. Fuck! I did a pandemic. Shit. Okay. Didn't think this would happen again. Thought I put safeguards in. Nope. Here we go.
I gave him
Did you just say
antibiotics.
again, Todd?
Yeah.
Todd, tell me this is the first time you've done this.
Look, after the last time, I gave them antibiotics, and like things were good for a while. Like, yeah, sure. Like
How
sometimes.
long is a while, Todd?
Sometimes
Well, like 70 years.
Yeah, sometimes
70 years.
autoimmune diseases arose, and like they ignored them out of homophobia. But like, Todd, there's homophobes in your universe. What the fuck? Bro, you suck at this shit.
And last
I
but
love
not
the idea that like it's a call center.
Yeah.
That, like
Yes, absolutely.
he's just like, I need to remote into your desktop real quick to like check out your universe. And it's like,
Oh, I'm having some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I don't know
You
if
probably
the-
won't be able to see. Oh, I'll just reroute that then.
Yeah, no worries, man. Like,
Oh my God, Todd.
oh, my Wi-Fi's been acting really shitty. Like, I don't think it's gonna work. Oh, I'll hook you up via Ethernet. Like, no problem, man. Like, we're all about solutions here. Like, and then just, oh, fuck, Todd, we need to reset this. And then just in the sky in our world, just like resetting in 60 seconds.
Todd, why is this still on Windows XP?
Our universe would be.
Last but not least on the podcast is me, Lucas the writer, just waiting for my time. Todd's gonna slip up real bad one of these days, and then I'm in. I got this.
Yeah.
Making some big changes.
You're gonna take over.
Change number 1. All the cool dinosaurs are back.
Where?
Also, which ones?
Randomly placed?
The cool one. I'll see how much of a logistical lift it is. Wherever they died, they're just back.
Very. Yeah, it sounds like remarkable logistical problems.
They're
Actually,
gonna
no. If it's
crawl
wherever they
back out
died,
of the
most of
earth.
them are gonna be underground. They're gonna suffocate to death.
They're like, I'm alive, crushed under the weight of thousands and thousands and thousands of millions of years
Yeah.
of sedimentary rock.
Yeah, or just at the bottom of the ocean and just like It's as though you stepped out of a submarine and it's just instant, like a fucking can of soda. Yeah. The rare few that wouldn't be in some fucking horror movie, yeah, they'd also probably like be falling out of the sky and like splattering on
There'd be a couple of like fish dinosaurs. I can't believe I just fucking said that. There'd be a couple of, marine life dinosaur type things that are just in the ocean having a blast.
Yeah.
I wonder if like the fucking alkaline or like the fucking acidity of the ocean has changed so much that they all fucking instantly die as well. Like they can't breathe.
It burns.
Yeah, like it's torment. You brought me into this world just to make me fucking suffer for a minute until I finally felt the sweet release of death.
Yeah, no, they were doing fine, living up in their own heaven, running a simulation of another Paleolithic Earth.
Oh, dinosaur heaven?
Yeah, dinosaur heaven. And then Lucas brought them out of it to suffer.
I mean, here's my thing is, and it's been brought up before, I think, whenever I talk about ghosts, like, where, like, oh, a ghost haunts the house that they died in. Like, it's the same thing if you were like, oh, we'll put them wherever they died. The Earth fucking is around the sun. Like, they're going to be in space. There is a 0% chance that any of them are in, like, Earth's gravitational influence, let alone, like, just on the ground and totally cool. Like, they're going to... And the Milky Way has been expanding, like, and then we're moving away. Yeah, no, they're just in space somewhere. It's horrifying.
That's okay. That's. I gotta say something real quick. That's not exactly how like universal expansion works. Like the Milky Way, it's not all points of everything are pulling away from each other. Because there are clusters that are held together by gravity that are not moving apart.
Yeah.
The Milky Way is not expanding.
I misspoke. The Milky Way is not expanding. The universe is expanding.
Yeah, the local area with, like, the 2 or 3 galaxies that are in our general facility, they are not moving farther away from each other. They will slam into each other.
We're getting closer. Yeah, it's going to be Milkdromeda or whatever the fuck.
What?
But when we slam together, quote unquote, nothing's going to hit each other. Because they're not like tightly packed. Like there's a fuck ton of space. It's going to be totally fine.
It's just that the gravity of those 2 galaxies are going to rip everything out of where it currently is and kind of fling it all over the place, and they'll eventually become mostly just one galaxy.
Milkdromeda.
Yeah, it's not like Earth is going to slam into another planet.
Milkdromeda sounds like an even worse spin-off of Total Drama Island, somehow.
Milkdromeda. that
Total
sounds like
Drama.
It sounds like some international reboot of Total Drama Island.
Set on the International Space Station. Oh my god. We're getting a draft together.
On today's challenge, you're going to have to figure out how to stop this fire on the International Space Station, or the loser will be shot out of the air duct.
Owen's kind of sus. God damn it.
Fuck.
On today's challenge, you have to dress up as superheroes because no one gives a fuck about space anymore, and it's the only way we can go viral. Just fucking pathetic shit. Like, we used to do science. We used to fucking get a bunch of rocks from the moon and be like, I don't know, what does this shit have on them? And now it's just like, I'm Thor. Like, you're a fucking astronaut. Like, have some goddamn self-respect.
Astronauts dressing up as Thor, lame. Jack Black dressing up as Thor, buckle up.
Fucking lit. Because he's an actor. He's performing. You're an astronaut. I want you to do science shit and make people go like, that's cool. I don't want you to be a fucking sing a TikTok. I'd fucking want to blow my brains out if astronauts were doing TikToks from the ISS.
no, we can't send you to Mars. But we do have a mission coming up where the first walkie slush is going to be set in space. So,
No,
pretty much a win.
They wouldn't be that up to date. They'd be like, "Oh, guys, we have a very special mission for you. We're gonna do the Harlem Shake or some shit." And we're all just like, like such heavy cringe. Like,
Shoot it down. Shoot it down.
acquiring lock on target.
Shit, break out
This
the
is
WAP
for their
parody.
own good.
The WAP parody.
There were spores in this house. There were spores in this house.
Yeah, with that much intensity, like they're you can tell they're like on the verge of tears. Like there's bring a
I could
bucket.
be on the moon right now.
Yeah, bring a bucket and a mop for this wet floor. I don't know, harbored. I don't know what the fuck. Not harbored. I'm trying to think of the word.
We'll workshop that one.
Yeah. But they're crying. People that dedicated their lives to research and they want to die.
Yep.
Like we do. People who care about the space program.
Astronauts are just like us.
Superfied freak. Never gonna sleep. IST. Or ISS. Make my brittle bones weak.
That's pretty good.
We're just workshopping.
That's pretty good.
We were making fun of like, oh, it's a WAP parody. That's so out of touch. And then we're doing
hold on
a
a
good
minute.
5 minutes trying to come up with.
Oh, that'd be really good. I mean, not if they did it, but if we did it.
We're gonna fake the WAP parody from the moon. All right, time to get into news of the week.
Busy news week, I see.
Yeah, Sega's getting into NFTs for some goddamn reason.
Why not, man? Everyone's getting into NFTs.
What do they have
The
beside it?
fucking the disaster girl made what, like $250K
What?
selling her
Mm-hmm.
the picture as an NFT.
The old meme of like the young child looking deviously into the camera as a house on fire is behind her.
Yeah.
She made an NFT of that meme and then sold it for a couple of $100K.
How old is she now?
She's like 21, I think. She's like using it to pay off her student loan debt.
Cool.
I say good for her.
Yeah, I was gonna say I say good for her too.
Fair.
Might as fucking well.
Yeah.
Regardless of what you think about NFTs, people taking advantage of them to help out their financial situation, I think is fine.
Not rich people,
Yeah.
No, yeah.
and that's most of the people doing
Yeah.
it.
I mean, like if if an artist
Real
is
people?
able to, I mean, real people, not rich people.
I don't.
no real
don't-
person involved.
Don't you dare give the artist example again when it seems like 90% of all art in
No,
NFT form is stolen.
I understand that. I'm saying that in the same way that this person was the subject of this meme that was used very frequently, and she sold this NFT and made a bunch of money off of it. Mm-hmm. I think that's fine. If you're an artist and you make an NFT of your art and you sell it and get money for it, I don't think you can say there's anything wrong with that. The larger scale problems of NFTs are there. And that's most of what NFTs are problems. I'm saying that in the somewhat rare situations where people are able to do it to benefit off of work that they made or were the subject of, I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think, isn't it like what our whole conversation landed on with like sex workers and people like like the general OnlyFans culture and everything like that of like, yeah, like people individually making this decision for themselves and choosing to sell
Right.
this stuff to like improve their financial standing are not the problem. Like they're fine. It's not morally wrong for them to do that. But when you take a look at the broader systemic shit that leads to that, it is a little like, fuck. Like this shit needs to be overhauled. Like, so yeah. You can't fault the individuals for being like, yo, I gotta make my money. Yeah. When Sega's like, all right, let's increase profits by 5%. It's like, all right, no, this ain't cool.
I had the thought, who the fuck, what franchise does Sega have left that they could actually make it in the NFT game? But then I remembered Sonic has like 900 characters.
Sanic. Yeah. What?
Sanic.
Yeah, they can make an infinite amount of Sonic NFTs. Are you kidding me? Not even. Who gives a shit about how many characters they have? They could make thousands of Sonic NFTs. Different ones.
They just have to regulate the market so that there's a fucking limited supply. Bam. Baby, you got a stew going. Does Sega own the rights to Sanic? Could Sega sell a Sanic NFT?
Oh,
because
fuck.
like they probably didn't sue the artist who drew Sanic because that would be dickish. But I don't think the artist who drew Sanic would have a leg to stand on because it's so clearly shit Sonic. Could they embrace the meme and make money off of Sanic?
I hope they do.
I kind of don't, but I kind of do at the same time.
I would hate
it'd be
that
legendary.
because this fucking dude, just some dude made this funny image of Sonic, and now the company he was making fun of, or just, I don't know, was trying to replicate. That could have just been a very bad...
That was not genuine. Sanic did not come from a genuine place.
I don't know.
Compassion.
I honestly don't know if Sanic is a poorly drawn Sonic or an intentionally poorly drawn Sonic. I don't
It's
know.
a mix of both. You know it is.
But one way or another, the company selling an NFT of this thing that is clearly circulating to make fun of them sucks. I say give it to the guy.
He was made to be a very convincing impression of an idiotic child, but the world saw Sanic in a completely different way. All right, so this Wikia is not an impartial source, I think, here.
No. The meme Wikia, absolutely not. I'm sorry. Meme Wikia.
Oh, they still do the 10. Like,
Yeah.
No.
Lay
I
epic.
was going to say, just call it Lay Wiki.
YouTuber
Fucking
Onyx Heart
Sanic.
uploaded Know Your Meme is always a little bit more impartial.
Right.
Uploaded a video titled How to Draw Sanic Hedgehog containing footage of the Sonic the Hedgehog illustration accompanied by the distorted Green Hill Zone.
Yeah. Come on, step it up.
Ever since he took down the video, people have used the new YouTube system to fake themselves as a username to pretend to be him. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think it was genuine.
That's really funny either way.
God, and that fucking ear rape Green Hill Zone going on in the background. We all know it. We all hate it. God, yeah, he drew it in MS Paint. He drew the fucking outlines, and then he pulled out the paint bucket and like did the like click to fill.
Yeah.
Like yeah, this was not a genuine effort being made. Come on, step it up. And he spelled "come on" with a C-U-M. Sanic.
I hoped that maybe it was a child that did this, but of course not. Of course.
Yeah, that was always kind of my assumption, that it was just like something a kid stuck on their fridge. But
you could say maybe if it didn't have the ear rape Green Hill Zone going on in the background. That for me is like no doubter. This is a memer from fucking 2010.
Fuck.
Classic.
Overwatch still doesn't have any black women, but mine now has cornrows.
I mean, that's pretty much.
What do you mean we don't have
Finally.
black women? Maya has cornrows.
Finally, representation.
Fuck. What a different world. Fucking. When did this game come out? 2016? What a fucking different world it was when everyone was like, look how inclusive this game roster is. No black women.
Cornrows or dreadlocks? What would have been worse?
Dreadlocks.
Yeah, white people with dreadlocks fucks me up a little bit every time.
Mm-hmm.
White people with cornrows is bad. White people with dreadlocks is like something that'll stick with you for a while.
Yeah. Well, and they know. White people with dreadlocks know what they're doing.
White people with cornrows usually do too. I would go ahead and say. Fuck.
You alright, bud?
Nah, just hiccups. Out
Yeah.
of nowhere.
No.
Appropriation of culture gives me the hiccups.
Somewhat related to this, Activision-Blizzard CEO Bobby Kotick's annual salary was reduced by half to $875,000, likely because shareholders said something to the effect of, wait, we laid off how many people last year and you're making how much? But not really, since most of his money comes from stock and that's still like $2 million a year. Easy.
Yeah, I was going to go ahead and say the salary is irrelevant.
Yeah.
For most CEOs, it's going to be just stock grants.
Did you guys see that the people that made, like the, I should say the executives that made Cyberpunk, the people at CD Projekt Red, got like huge bonuses
Right.
because of the game and how it performed, even though it was like universally panned and got taken off the PlayStation Store, and they're in the middle of several class action lawsuits, and their stock is like a third of where it was before it launched.
I think.
Is it the worst AAA release ever? Is that safe to say?
Ooh.
I mean, there's
whenever-
definitely been some
Battlefield.
Whenever someone says ever, I usually say no. Just saying something is the worst of something ever, usually, I don't know. It's definitely the worst in recent memory.
Was Battlefield 2 worse with the loot boxes?
You mean Battlefront 2?
Battlefront, yes. Sorry.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
It was
fair.
functional.
Yeah.
It was a functional
It was
game.
bad.
It worked.
At that point, that's what we thought bad was. Because, like, oh, they put out this game, and yeah, they didn't really tell us all the features of how the microtransactions worked, and that was misleading for the time. And then Cyberpunk came out, and it just didn't work, and they told you it would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious how it compares to Fallout 76. 'cause
Oh.
it's definitely up there as well.
I think Fallout 76 had a worse launch than Cyberpunk, but I think it's going to get a lot of apologists because they clearly put a lot of work in after the fact in trying to fix some of it. It's definitely not a good game and probably never will, but it's better. And they're still working on Cyberpunk. In 5 years, Cyberpunk will probably be a different game. And people will be like, wow, remember when this launched as a total piece of shit and now it's not as bad?
There was that Mass Effect game too. Mass Effect
Andromeda?
was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one was pretty rough. I don't know. There's been a few stinkers, but yeah, it's definitely way up there.
I think.
Anthem.
Oh.
Anthem didn't
Anthem
work.
just didn't catch
Yeah.
on though. Was it really just because it didn't work?
It did not work. It didn't. One, there was almost no content, but for the first couple of months, people had a really hard time even playing it. And then they were able to play it, and there was nothing to do, and they completely abandoned it. Mm-hmm. And that was after they said, oh, we're doubling down on Anthem. We're going to put so much money into this shit and fix it. We're going to have a full Destiny sort of situation here going. And then they put all the money in. Nothing ever happened. They fired all the people that worked on it. And then the studio shut down, and then they said, we're not going to support it anymore. Anthem never existed.
BioWare was the ones that did that.
Yeah.
This first sentence of the sales section is just fucking golden. Anthem topped retail sales charts in the UK during its first week of release, although its total launch week retail sales matched half of those of BioWare's previous game, Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh.
They went over 2 there for a minute.
Just snowballing.
Also, they won Best PC Game at the Game Critics Awards.
For what?
Best PC Game.
Oh.
No, I mean, what was the game?
Anthem.
Oh, what the fuck? How? Nobody got to play it.
Game Critics did, apparently.
We're game critics, and I don't think we'd have voted that way. Let us on the panel.
Yeah, I take it back. It is about ethics and games. God damn it.
I don't know what ethics in games journalism are. I just know that this was unethical.
Fucking Doom Eternal 2019, 2018 Anthem, 2017 Destiny 2, 2016 Civ 6, 2015 Fallout 4. Yeah, best PC game. I don't know, man.
It's kind of all over the place.
This is for
a lot of like Civ 6, like yeah, Civ is Civ, but like all those other games were games that were not super well received.
what?
Spore won 3 times?
What?
In 2005, Spore. In 2006, Spore. In 2008, Spore. I don't know. I'm reading Wikipedia and I worry because how does that happen that Spore wins 3 times? But
It's just an RTS, an old one.
a one universally panned. Like people
people don't like Spore. Yeah, I'm not quite sure about this one. Are you sure it's not a joke? Are you sure they didn't do these as a joke?
Is this
we
the
made them
Razzies?
bad on purpose as a joke.
You're supposed to play it ironically?
Yeah.
The Game Critics. Oh, the website's real bad.
Wow. That is ironic.
Which website?
The Game Critics Awards website. I'm not sure if it's real. I don't know. This whole thing is, it stinks to high hell. Are the Game Critics Awards real? Best of E3, I think so.
Yeah, this is
boy.
Oh my god. Yeah, this website doesn't function. 2020 winners to be announced.
If you go back to 2017 nominees, then it works, and there's actually like some navigation. Oh yeah, this website's broken, fam.
Jesus.
I'm gonna go with not real.
I mean, it's definitely a thing that they do for E3. Like there are official E3 sources that talk about the Game Critics Awards.
Oh, so is the premise of this then just these are the games that critics like the most at E3, and not necessarily a reflection of how good the games actually are, just their advertising?
Oh,
I can see that.
I bet
So that's why
it.
Spore won 3 times. Is because they kept showing Spore shit.
I mean, maybe there were expansions or whatever. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, listen, this was
Spore just took a long time to develop, and they just kept showing it, and they kept giving it best PC game.
I mean, listen, one of those was the year when the astronauts at the International Space Station did the WAP parody with Spores in the house. So, you know, there was a lot of hype around Spores at the time.
Yeah. Time to bring back Spore.
I didn't include this one, but I did see that apparently every developer now under the Activision banner is working on Call of Duty. Even the people you wouldn't think would be working on an FPS. But yeah, they are min-maxing in that. It's weird.
Money is. I mean, they don't mention, or they don't put it front and center, but on the article that you linked, they say like, oh, Activision-Blizzard's market cap under the CEO's leadership has gone from fucking what? It was like 10 million to it's over $70 billion. Like, you can't argue with that. That's unbelievable growth. Like, in terms of a company. So
yeah. They do know how to make money. You can't say that they don't.
Speaking of Call of Duty, just want to slide this in because we invented this strat, and apparently other people are ripping us off. Article on Kotaku. Fucking trucks are how you win Call of Duty Warzone now.
in solos.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
Wasn't that always kind of a thing?
Yes. Early in the game's meta, yes, because they weren't nerfed. They ended up nerfing the trucks because they were so powerful. Because you could turn on a fucking dime, and they were just as fast as all the other cars and vehicles.
Oh.
So it made no sense to use anything else. You just should use a truck. And in solos, like there's just that. Unless you have an RPG or a C4, you're fucking dead, kiddo. Like, you're not going to be able to stop it. So, yeah, and then if you have a trophy system on that truck, it's just game over. But, yeah, no, we were doing it in, like, trios, where you absolutely have enough firepower to take down our truck easily. So.
We did all right.
But, yeah,
We did all right with that strategy.
it was fun.
Huh?
You also played Call of Duty like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Andrew hopped back in for the first time in the new Resurgence mode.
Yeah. First time I played Warzone in over a year. Damn.
What's going on?
And I'm
with
just as
Resurgence
good
mode?
as I was before.
In the Resurgence mode, it's basically just, instead of having to be bought back, there's an auto timer every time you die to respawn in. And it's dependent on like what your teammates are doing. So like if they're just camping in a corner waiting, then they have to survive like 30 seconds. But if they like kill someone, then that takes off time from the timer. If they like start a contract, that takes off time from the timer and all that shit. So
Very cool.
yeah, it's basically just a more forgiving battle royale type scenario.
I like it.
So
Make Call of Duty easier, guys. Come on. That's what I'm about.
Yeah, that's what people who don't play it all the time need, basically, for it to be popular. So
Make it easier and take out skill-based matchmaking.
yeah.
Or would that work
do
against
that.
making it easier? Oh, okay. Okay.
I mean, it would be mixed. It would sometimes be easier and sometimes be much harder.
There you go.
So
Anything happened in TV or film that we want to talk about?
I
Fair.
don't think so.
Going into for the only news of the week that matters. Chainsaw Man second character popularity poll finally dropped the results. Number 1, Andrew, your boy Aki. Number 2, Makima, duh. Number 3, Power, duh. 4, Denji. 5, Rize. 6, I think that octopus guy who just showed up, threw some hands, and then fucked off to take the ACTs. 6th best character in the series, apparently. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you agree, Andrew?
I like how Lucas started it out saying, your boy, Aki. I have no opinions on most of these people.
Andrew, it was on record you saying, yeah, this is the only good character in this comic.
I do believe I remember saying that, like, yeah, he's the only one with any sort of, like, interesting, like, depth to him. Which I think was true. But just because he had some interesting depth doesn't mean he had a lot. I don't know. Also, like, later on, like, some other characters developed a little bit more. So, you know, Chainsaw Man was good in some parts and not good in others. I don't remember the Octopus Man that you were talking about. I just don't. Sounds like he wasn't a big part of it, so.
No, he was in 5 chapters.
Yeah. I don't remember who Reze is.
Bomb Girl. Bomb Devil.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's fun.
Which one was Kobeni?
She is the small knife girl who freaks out a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Also fun.
Was Himeno?
The eye patch lady who died.
Oh, the pedophile?
I mean, we don't know how old Denji is.
There's definitely a line of like, oh man, probably shouldn't do this anyway. You're a minor. I'd go to prison. Mm-hmm. I remember that vividly.
Man, I wish these characters would have more depth. One character, sloppy, problematic. I don't care for this.
Sloppy, problematic. I probably shouldn't. Fuck you. I'd go to jail. I don't know how much of character depth that is.
Fair enough. We have a bright red addition to this planning document. What do we got here?
So it happened recently, but do you guys ever hear about the Super League in soccer?
Oh, yes. Fuck yeah.
I don't think we ever talked about it, so I kind of thought it would also be worthwhile to point this out. But so yeah, basically for those of you who don't know, 12 European soccer teams that are kind of like most of them. There's a couple weird ones, like the powerhouses of European soccer, said that they were basically going to break away from their current leagues and form a new super league to compete in. That would be, I mean, basically the only thing that most casual fans would watch around the world in soccer, because of the money that they'd make from having it be the only soccer league that fans would watch around the world. Everyone got mad.
Understandably.
Everyone hated that idea, but especially the English clubs, and then amongst the English clubs, especially Manchester United, fucking really didn't like that idea and thought that, no, you're going to ruin all of soccer.
Right.
Like, all of the culture created around the sport will be nuked from orbit if you do this. And after a few days, they started pulling out one by one and then kind of just scrapped the idea for now. But I think it kind of also served as a bit of a boiling point, because Manchester United in particular has been kind of not super happy with their ownership for a while, because it's an American and they always feel like, you know, they have no fucking clue what's going on, like the culture of the club and the sport, everything. But like
Ted Lasso is such a great guy. What?
Ted Lasso is not the owner.
Okay.
Like, the club is owned by an English woman, but she is trying to run the club into the ground, so it's a whole other thing. But anyway, like, she's specifically trying to destroy the culture of the club and everything like that. But yeah, anyway. And they're kind of right. Yeah. And I think that this was, just another boiling point. And what happened earlier, I think even today, was that Manchester United fans basically had like a borderline riot at the stadium to protest like the way that the ownership has been running their club, and got a game against Liverpool canceled, which would have been like a big showdown, like a super big money game. I mean, postponed, but super big money game for the club and everything like that. And they shut it down through protests and everything like that. And
can we get soccer hooligans to, get enthused about socialized medicine next? They seem very effective at getting shit done.
I mean, it's rioting, man. Rioting fucking works.
Yeah.
And soccer fans love rioting more than they love watching soccer. I mean, it's a thing. They'll start wars for fun. Literal wars.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's the same thing as always.
Yeah.
But yeah, the owner of Manchester United is the family that owns the Buccaneers in U.S. sports. It's a very common thing. Stan Kroenke owns, I don't know if it's Liverpool or Man City or one other big English club. He owns the Rams in the U.S. I mean, I think it's just a broader thing that there's more and more Americans that are kind of like buying up soccer clubs and then kind of raping them. Like, literally, like, just forcibly making them run like a standard business to churn out maximum profit for the ownership, completely disregarding like the importance of the clubs to like the local culture. Like
Right.
in English culture, a soccer club is, even though it's not official, it is like partially publicly owned. Like there is a duty to the local community to run the club a certain way, and like that is a very important relationship. And when an American buys that club, they do not give a fuck about any of that. Like, so it is a new thing, basically.
I will say to the Super League protests that I support. I'm not a big soccer guy, mostly because I imagine mostly because I didn't grow up watching it. But like, that's cool shit that professional soccer has that no sports in the U.S. really have. The fact that just your local club has the possibility to be the top tier shit in soccer is fantastic, because in my lifetime, like, there are a couple of new sports teams have been created, but they're never like taking a minor league team and now you guys are official. They're inventing a new team. Like, the Timber Rattlers are never going to go from fucking AAA to professional baseball. That just doesn't happen. And it's cool that that's a thing in soccer.
Yeah. Definitely true.
Keep fighting, Manchester. Keep it up. Yeah. Unless we have any memes, I believe we are headed on into the breakouts.
Let's do it.
Andrew, what are you checking out?
So I'm, to a lesser extent, still playing Stardew Valley. Definitely cooled down a little bit from my just blistering start to Stardew Valley, where I was just playing it all the time. I read a little bit more Spy Family, the manga.
Hey.
It's kind of lost it for me.
Aww.
It's just, I haven't read very much of it. It's just like, yeah, it was fun for a little bit, because just like, oh, it's wacky, it's funny, and it's got a little boring. Kind of just do like the same shtick over and over again. But like,
okay, that's fair.
Played Warzone with Ryan and Ian for the first time in a year, like we said, just a couple hours ago. I'm bad.
Played it Halloween, I think.
Oh.
For the Halloween event.
Oh, I guess I did.
I remember you guys talking about that.
I think. Oh yeah, because I did not have the PS5 at that point, did I? Because I never installed it on my PS5 until now.
Oh,
and when I got my PS5, I did delete it from my PS4 so that I could make room on my external hard drive and transfer stuff over to my PS5. So I guess Halloween was literally the last time I played it.
Yeah, 6 months or so.
6 months, not a year. But yeah, it's Warzone.
Yeah.
There's twice as many guns now because Black Ops is a thing. But yeah, still not a bad time.
Cool.
We got pretty close in our last game. We probably should have won it.
Yeah, I fucked it. I mean,
you had no plates.
Well, I had no plates. That's on me too. And it did come down to just 1-on-1, him sprinting across an open field at me. I was the only one left. I shot him a couple of times, and then I missed a couple of times, and then he shot me in the face because I didn't have any plates, and he did. So,
yep.
You can't.
Andrew had the zone, and it just no plates. I think full plates. Andrew pulls it out.
You can't eat that bread without plates, man. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Ryan, what are you into lately?
Yeah, that's about it. I played a little Warzone with them. I have been playing the Madden franchise still having a blast with that. Been still playing my FIFA Sunderland franchise. We're in the Premier League now, and I think we're gonna win the title, and then I might even stop. I don't know. We'll see. What else? Playing a lot of 8-Ball Pool, the mobile game.
Back into it.
Yeah, never really left. So, getting pretty good at that. Like, weirdly good at that.
Okay.
So that's fun. Watched a documentary on Hulu last night with Angel called... Oh, fuck. What's it called? It was nominated for Best Original Documentary on the Oscars. It's a spy. An old man is a spy.
Okay, so that's not the octopus one then. Is it the one that was technically made by Respawn or something?
The Mole Agent?
The Mole Agent. Yep, that's it.
Huh.
I don't think so. It's a Chilean documentary.
Okay.
It's fun. It's based around this. I mean, it's not fun. It's really sad actually, but it's a good portrait of like that life. A private investigator gets a call and like gets a client who believes that her mother is being abused in a nursing home, and like getting stuff stolen and like being abused and everything like that. So the private investigator puts out an ad for a man like between the age of 80 and 90 to be like a spy for him at the nursing home, and finds this delightful guy named Sergio, who's just like a fucking, I don't know, he's awesome. Like, he'd be the coolest grandpa of all time, basically.
Oh.
And then he ends up being elected like king of the nursing home and shit, and like is just like this legend, and like but it has like, you know, it's heartbreaking, man. Like it's a rough documentary, and not because they're being mistreated by the staff and everything. Like the investigation comes up that like the person stealing from her is another what's it called, patient, I guess,
resident.
I don't know if that's technically it. Yeah, resident at the nursing home, who's not like super with it. Like she believes that she's getting phone calls from her mother and stuff like that, like, and the staff like kind of humor her and stuff like that. So she's clearly not all the way with it. She's the one stealing all the stuff, and then there's no like abuse from the people, like the staff, but like there's not much visiting going on, and it's kind of it's sad. So yeah. So I don't know. That was
awesome.
That's what I watched. It was a fascinating documentary. Not too bad.
I kind of forgot the Oscars happened until you said this was nominated for an Oscar, and that made me realize I have nothing to say about the Oscars. No opinion.
We didn't talk about them at all.
I didn't really watch the movies,
right?
Honestly.
Weird.
That's gonna change this year, though. Tons of movies, just flouting it, living in the movie theater. Tons of opinions on movies.
I do have AMC Stubbs A-list, so when I'm fully vaccinated, I feel like I might, or like reactivate it and actually go see some movies.
Hell yeah. I guess the big thing I am checking out right now is a remake of a game from 2010 that has been retitled Near Replicant Version, and then I think the square root of the Fibonacci sequence is what that is. I'm not gonna read it out. I'm not gonna read out this 8-digit number with ellipses at the end. I like this game a lot so far. It has a really great opening that is basically just the inverse of the 3 weeks earlier meme storytelling format, where the game opens and it's like summer 2053. Something fucked up happened, because it opens up these two kids, brother and sister, starving in a destroyed convenience store as it's snowing and demons are trying to attack them. And then the game jumps ahead 14,000 years and just picks up there. And it's not totally clear what's going on yet. I'm very much enjoying this. This game was the prequel to Nier Automata by Yoko Taro, a game that I enjoyed very much. This game is in that same world. It's really cool to see all the little references and nods to Automata, kind of playing these out of order, I guess, or all the realizing now what was a reference in Automata is just in this game. But yeah, this is one of those pre-Skyrim RPGs where it's 16 hours to beat the main storyline, but then 60 hours to do the entire game. And right now I'm leaning a little towards more playing it in the latter style. So not super deep into it yet, but definitely going to talk about it more. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 weeks later.
And some change.
As a story is supposed to progress chronologically.
Yeah.
What if they kept doing that? What if that was the entire structure of the story? Oh, we're just going out to buy some groceries. Oh, shit, demons! 14,000 years later, the world is gone. Robots wear blindfolds. 14,000 years later, Earth is a desolate hellscape with nothing remaining, not even a speck of life. 14,000 years later, aliens like jazz!
Didn't Futurama kind of do that bit? With the one of the series finales?
Yep.
I don't remember which one.
Yeah, they had the time machine that could only go forward in time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they like wrapped all the way back around. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, we seem to have splintered off into a parallel universe where everything is 5 feet lower or whatever. Yeah.
Futurama's good. I don't want a single new episode of Futurama to ever be made, just so we don't have to do another ending for that series, but Futurama is good. I think a lot of it holds up.
It's smart writing.
Yeah.
Must be all those PhDs.
And that'll take us into the group chat. Aaron Rodgers definitely seems like he's staying with the Packers now. That's locked in, maybe? Kinda?
Not locked in.
It is far from locked in.
Yeah.
No?
I wouldn't say locked in, but definitely.
I'd say it's
it'd be weird timing to trade now.
yeah. It's Aaron Rodgers has his stance, and the Packers are saying that they're not going to trade him. I think the general consensus is that they mean it, but that Aaron Rodgers means it too. So it's someone will eventually bend. It's not even out of the question that Aaron Rodgers sits for a whole year and then does something after that. But who fucking knows?
The problem is that we don't even know that Aaron Rodgers has demanded a trade and like has said that like it does not want to play for the Green Bay Packers next year. That's definitely not a fact.
Right.
Like he has not come out and said that. He hasn't corrected it either, but it's not necessarily like for him to do when he's clearly trying to like put pressure on the organization.
He hasn't come out and said it, and we're not even sure if he has said it to the team. Because even if Aaron Rodgers went to Gutekunst's office, kicked in the door, and said, "Goody, trade me," Gutekunst wouldn't have to tell people that he demanded a trade. But one way or another, Aaron Rodgers or his team put it out there into the ether that Aaron Rodgers wants a trade and that he's not happy. And either that's true or he's trying to pressure them because he wants a new contract. And the thing is that Aaron Rodgers probably sees his contract right now and says, I'm going to be done with my contract when I'm 40, I think it is. And my chances of then re-upping either with the Packers or, I mean, almost certainly not with the Packers because they drafted Jordan Love, but with another team that is willing to give him a long-term extension at the $40 to $50 million or more than that he wants is so low. Teams don't give out long-term contracts to quarterbacks that are 40 years old. So he's probably thinking, this might be my last chance to get $500 million or whatever the fuck. So he's going to go for it now. And if the Packers aren't going to give it to him, maybe he'll try to find another team that would. But a team isn't going to give him a 5-year extension at $50 million a year in 2 or 3 years. Maybe teams would now. That is a lot of money for a quarterback that's old. But he is also Aaron fucking Rodgers, and he just won his MVP. He's not declining yet. So this might be his last chance to get that kind of money.
Fair.
That's my take.
No, I think it's 100% a power play for a contract extension. Which,
yeah,
I say, fuck it. Give it to him.
Why not?
I think he's in the mindset that, he wants a contract extension from the Packers. And if they don't give it to him, then he's going to say, well, then my terms are trade me. Because one way or another, I'm going to get my money. That's just how it is. So whether he does that or not, we'll see. But I think that's his play.
I don't think he's given it up. I don't think he's given up that much money with a holdout. He's more than welcome to. I wouldn't be like, Aaron Rodgers is a piece of shit, but I don't know, man. That's a lot.
But
then
maybe
is he going to hold out the next 2 years too?
Well, that's the thing, is that he's probably trying to figure out if the Packers would bend or not, because he's doing the math in his head, and he's probably trying to decide, do I miss out on $30 million this year with the potential of making $50 million a year for 4 years after that? Maybe.
I don't know, man.
It's a lot of money to miss out on.
It's not a contract year. Like most people, when they hold out, it's a contract year. And it's like, worst case, you sit out 1 year, sign a brand new contract as a free agent. Aaron Rodgers would have to hold out for 3 more years, and then he'd be 40, having not played football for 3 years.
Then he'd just be a guy.
I'm just going to call his bluff if I'm the Packers.
So I think you're right. But also at the same time, it's like when you have insurance and they say you sign up for this insurance at the beginning of the year. This is the insurance that you have while you're employed with your employer for another year, and you can't change it. And if you then want to change it next year, you can do that. But if you have a life-altering event, like you get married or you have kids or you switch to another job, that changes the situation. You can change. Aaron Rodgers saw them draft another quarterback with the intention of replacing him, and then he won the MVP. The situation has changed. The dynamic is different than it was a little over a year ago. And so in his head, he's like, things have changed. Also, there's been 2 or 3 quarterbacks that have gotten paid over $40 million a year since then. Patrick Mahomes is making $50 million a year. Deshaun Watson is making over $40 million a year.
That's because they're younger, though.
Yeah.
That's a guaranteed asset. Barring injury, Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes
or a sex
will
scandal.
Serve. Well, they don't have to pay for that. But yeah, barring some completely unforeseen event that cannot be possibly fathomed, such as Deshaun Watson most likely committing some form of sexual harassment or sexual assault against 26 different women.
Yeah.
Or Patrick Mahomes going full Joe Theismann and but even that apparently you can come back from now looking at Alex Smith. It's just those are guaranteed assets. We don't know how Aaron Rodgers is going to perform this season. If you're a betting person, you're going to assume that he's pretty damn good because he's coming out of MVP year, and even if he takes a step backwards, that's still probably all pro level. But who knows? Something when you're at that age, quarterbacks fall off a cliff. Look at Drew Brees. Look at Peyton Manning. It happens. Age catches up to all of them. People meme about Tom Brady playing until he's in his 70s, but no, that's not going to happen. We absolutely know that there is a cap. Might it be ridiculously long? Might he be 55? Who fucking knows? But there is a cap. He literally will not be able to play into his 70s or something.
And that's why they drafted Jordan Love, because they were probably betting that he was going to start to decline. He had 2 years where he wasn't Aaron Rodgers level
timing,
great.
though. It made no sense.
No, I agree. I think it was a bad move. But that's what they did, and Aaron Rodgers is aware of what they did. So if it starts to decline, and then they replace him with Jordan Love, his options are gone, or at least his options to become, the highest paid quarterback for a long year or a long-term extension are gone. And then he has to, take a 1-year deal for $25 million, which is I understand that it sounds like, yeah, you fucking do that. But like when in his head his options are either 1 year, $25 million, or 5 years, $50 million a fucking year, that we know he's going to try to go for option 2. Yeah. I'm not blaming anyone here. This is just how I'm seeing the situation. And I understand why he's doing it. And he is probably very upset, understandably so, with the way that the Packers have handled him and the roster. And the Packers are probably like, we did what we thought we kind of needed to do. And now you want the general manager fired. We don't really know what to do with that.
We don't know that either.
I know that might not even be real. That could be real, could not be. We don't even know if he fucking said that. Who knows? But they probably don't really know what to do with the fucking situation.
I mean, they should. This is what they're paid to do.
Yeah.
And then,
this is their job. I have no sympathy for anyone in this situation because this is literally what they are paid to do.
And
is to manage these situations. It's not like it's never happened before.
Well,
it happens all the time now.
It happens all the time. And if there was anyone on the goddamn planet that would be prepared for a situation like this and know how to tone it down, it would be the people in the Packers front office. This is the same situation as what happened with Favre. Well, not exactly the same.
No, it's not, because it's so much more. It's so much better, of Aaron Rodgers, because fucking Brett Favre was teasing the Packers with retirement for years when we took Aaron Rodgers. And then Favre was cool with Rodgers, literally retired, said, I'm sorry, I'm stepping away. The Packers drafted 2 more backups. We're like, Aaron Rodgers is clearly good, prepared for the next season. And then he said, yo, I'm back, baby. And we were like, we don't have it for you, man. You can compete for the starting job if you want, but this isn't necessarily your team. And he's like, nah, trade me. This is so much better. This is worse in that the Packers fucked it up. It's the Packers' fault this time. This was literally Aaron Rodgers being like, yeah, I'll probably play into my 40s. Sounds perfect. Oh, I have 4 years left on my deal.
Great.
How long are rookie contracts? 4 years? Oh, that's weird that they would draft a fucking quarterback so that his contract will be... I know he can pick up a 5th-year option, but so that his contract will be set to expire when mine will. Mm-hmm. So when I'm turning 40, maybe, I'm not good anymore, but then he won't even be under contract. So what the fuck is this timing? I don't know.
The Saints didn't even draft a quarterback when they were 1,000% sure that Drew Brees would retire at the end of that year. The Steelers didn't draft a quarter. I mean, the Steelers didn't really have the ability to draft a quarterback this year. But, the Steelers didn't draft a quarterback knowing that almost certainly Big Ben is going to be done after this year. There was nothing that was showing that Rodgers was about to even start declining significantly. So, it was a bad move. Also, I get that people are like, oh, he's just a big baby. They don't have to, he's just a quarterback. He's doing his job. They don't have to include him on that stuff. But, they didn't tell him that they might draft a quarterback. That's just a common fucking courtesy to the guy who is responsible for all of you still having jobs.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same thing as Giannis. Where it's no, at a certain point, a player becomes so transcendent that it is important to keep him in the loop about these huge, franchise-altering decisions. What do you have to listen to them and let them go LeBron and, trade players? No. But you absolutely need to at least keep them informed so that they're not blindsided by different things. yeah, I don't know. It's insane. So,
the wacky, wonderful world of sports, everyone. All right, that will bring us to a clap sync and the wacky wind down. Is it wacky? I don't know.
I don't think so.
Just a wind down then.
Did you even clap, Ryan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You synced up. We're professionals.
Didn't see your hands go up.
Y'all have terrible internet.
Whoa.
I'm now the only one on the podcast with passable 2021 internet.
The
Not
power.
I mean, Lucas will soon have my internet.
I was going to say, soon there will be two. Also, I'm currently becoming sad knowing that in a couple of weeks, we're going to move the podcast to Pacific time. Because 2/3 of the podcast will be over there instead of in Central. And I'm going to have to be the one being like, yeah, we'll do it at 3 p.m.
Oh, yes. The first time ever interacting with college buddies and be able to just be like, no, the assumed time is Pacific, baby.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah.
Dig
it's the
it.
best time zone.
A lot of good stuff happening in that time zone.
Yeah.
I like Greenland
like-
time, just out in the middle of the Atlantic.
Okay, well. I guess I was thinking of American time zones, but, you know.
Oh, how very national-centric of you.
No, I was saying it's the best time zone of American time zones, not that American time zones are exclusively the best time zones. I don't know anything about other time zones. I know a little bit about all of ours, and I know, having lived in 2 of them and spent time in the other 2, like, Pacific's the best one.
I don't believe there are any communities on the international date line, but that'd be fun.
No, it's ocean.
Yeah.
I don't think that was intentional either. It just happened because isn't it Greenwich in England is the center? It just so happened that the other side of the world was completely ocean, so that no one got fucked up by it being one day versus the other.
Yeah, no, that was not a well thought out thing. That was, we're the center of
lucky.
the universe.
Yeah. Greenwich, England is the center of the world.
Now,
Literal.
I know that we've told you all that the sun revolves around the Earth. However, the sun revolves around Greenwich, England, and the Earth just happens to be relatively close to that.
Yeah. It is the literal center focal point of all matter in the universe, the observable universe. Which I guess if you're in Greenwich is true.
Yeah.
With how, like, the observable universe works. You are actually, in the center of the observable universe. Because that's the point. But yeah.
Yeah, like if you look at maps of cosmic background radiation, it's just the perspective of where you are in a 360, view wrapped around from one single point, which is where you are. So yeah, that's what the universe is.
Greenwich, England, the center of both space and time.
It's where the Time Lord comes from.
Don't start with that shit.
Thank you all so much for listening to episode 142 of the Voluntary Viewing podcast, which will either be titled Heaven's EDM or Dino Heaven. We'll figure that out. If you like what you heard, like, comment, subscribe, etc. Check us out on Instagram and YouTube for highlight clips. Email us your questions, voluntaryviewing@gmail.com. Check us out on Patreon if you want to join the likes of the terrific Tiffany Cole, Psyche Badger, and sensual Richard Nixon. We appreciate all of their support and would love to have your support as well. There's an ActBlue link in the description down below if you want to help a collection of great progressive causes. Follow us on Twitter at V2_podcast for updates, and follow me at Lucas the Writer on Twitter to keep up with all of my writing. All right. This is a low energy podcast, and I think we all needed that. We all needed that little bit of chill.
I thought it was pretty good.
Ouch.
Oh.
I thought
Wait, are we not recording right now?
I'm
or
still
are we...
recording.
Yeah.
Oh, we're still talking.
Oh,
Okay.
Are we doing a post-mortem?
I thought we
Well,
were
then, fuck
vibing.
you, Lucas.
Okay.
I
Wow.
thought we did good.
That's bad.
I feel like that heaven stuff definitely could be highlight worthy.
Low
I wrote
energy
it
is
down.
bad? Okay, that might be me. I never thought that low energy meant bad. I thought it was just chill.
I'm sorry that
It
we.
definitely is bad for a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
sorry that
We're
talked
trying to
about
entertain
football
people.
at the end,
Okay.
like we sometimes do. But
I'm sorry. Just my vibe's off then. I apologize. Maybe I'm the only low energy one. I'm sorry. I hope that didn't come across too much, but maybe I
Dave,
hit
is
it
something
well.
wrong? Your vibes were totally off during the podcast.
Your vibes are totally off during the discussion of infinite heaven theory.
Oh. Yeah, what? I'm not wishing everybody good luck today, because apparently I need some good luck. I need some good luck in my life. Making an ass of myself on the podcast. Good night, everybody.